Yo, what is up guys, Dubsmine here, and this is actually going to be the first video. And the reason why I made that emphasis is because I recorded some videos already before, which some are not going to go up, which is the game preview for the Lakers game, and while the other video is actually a video that I'm planning on putting up, but because I forgot to do, I still have to edit it, that's like not necessarily a game specific video, I'm gonna just decide to, you know what, let's just keep it out for now. So today, since I missed the timing to do a Warriors recap video, I am going to be doing a Warriors preview video for the Lakers. Like I said, I made the video, but I just didn't edit it. Today we are going to be doing a recap video. And I mean, there's no reason for me not to make a video on the first season opener. It was such a good game too, obviously. So let's just get right into it. So we're here in the NBA website summary. Jimmy 31, Steph added 23, and we won. Lucas 43. And obviously LeBron was out, and Moody was out. But obviously the great news for Warriors fan, obviously for this game, was Jonathan Kuminga scoring 17, which was crazy. Like, obviously not the points, but like his stats and the way he played was so good. Obviously, if you look here, very efficient from the 3-2. Obviously, it's like if you can get that from him, obviously you're gonna win a lot of games. Though we doubt that that's gonna be the case, just because it's JK and. This is probably going to be like the exception. It's probably going to be a pretty rare situation for stuff like this to happen. But regardless, it's really nice that it still did happen. Yeah, so 4 6 and 3. And then we got 17 points, obviously. But obviously the 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Just amazing, obviously. And then obviously Jimmy, literally 16 out of 16 free throws, which is like, at one point, or no, he still kind of was, like, they made 17 free throws as a team, Lakers. Like, they got 28 attempts. We actually got the same amount of attempts of free throws as the Lakers, which is like the most insane part. But again, as you can tell, he literally, the amount of free throws he made, 16, is literally about the same as the amount of free throws they made, because they were just buns at the line. And DeAndre Jordan, or DeAndre Ayton here, goddamn. As you can see from the box score, it didn't seem like it was that bad, right? 71%, he had 6 rebounds, 10 points. But I mean, even from the box score, actually, now I say it, he played pretty bad, honestly. If I'm a Lakers fan, I'm kind of scared that this is the center that you have to run with. Obviously, LeBron's not there, so having LeBron around would help him most likely. But when he was 0 for 2 from the free throw line, first of all, not that good. Obviously, if he's a shooting center, like, he's a pretty good mid-range shooter, I'll give him that. You would want him to make free throws, but he was 0 for 2, and then 4 or 6 rebounds. And then only 6 rebounds, by the way. He played 33 minutes, and he was the tallest guy on the floor, including with the Warriors players. And he still only got 6 rebounds, and he had 4 turnovers. 3 personal fouls, not terrible, but 4 turnovers. So, especially the center that doesn't necessarily have the ball in his hand that many times, that's not the best sign. So, I don't know, man. If I'm the Lakers fan, I don't like it. But anyway, this is a Warriors video, so I mean, Pons didn't play horrible. He wasn't like the best either, but he did solid things throughout the game. Obviously his plus minus is plus 13. Again, he didn't do much on the stat sheet, but plus 13 goes to show his impact that he had. Draymond, pretty much a near triple-double. And then obviously you got like Steph, who started off pretty bad, but obviously he ended up doing really well. But he poured in hella threes, like 5 threes. I think 3 came from just third quarter. Gary struggled a bit, had some nice defensive plays here and there, but not the best. And Al also struggled, but he still had some good defensive blocks, and he had 5 rebounds, which is what he would take. But Will Richard, man, I love this guy. So we're gonna look at a clip here. No audio, by the way. Just because copyright, whatever. I think like less audio is probably better. Even if it's just video, I might get copyright, whatever. But still, just so I'm not using the actual full clip, in a way. So yeah, you see Will Richard right here off the screen. It chases Reeves right there, and then Reeves with the crossover, boom, poke. Will Richard right there. Pons recovers the ball. Pons on the fast break, and well, they call that an offensive foul, which a little sus. His foot's on the restricted circle. That should have not been an offensive foul, in my opinion. But anyways, stuff like this. But he was really good, played defensive disruption a lot. I know negative 11 really doesn't tell the whole story. He did a solid job against their guards in Luka and Austin Reeves. Obviously didn't stop them too much, but he still did a solid job. And then, so I'm very excited for him, especially once his 3 comes around, because it has been struggling from here and there. Obviously this game he was fine, but for just previous season. So once that comes around, he should be fine. What I want to see though also is this steal by Jonathan. So you can see, I'm really happy they awarded him with a steal, because like the pass kind of errant. Then JK does a good job where he doesn't just see this loose ball and then like assume that Jimmy or Draymond's gonna get it. What he does, because if he doesn't do this, there's a good chance Aiden could get this ball back, is that he taps the ball so Aiden can't get it, and then allows Pujemski to come back to go retrieve the ball. And that, I was just so inspired by that play. Like I was like, that's growth right there, and then leads to the easy Jimmy bucket right there on the fast break. Stuff like this, man. And I mean, let me see if I can find. I mean, okay, I mean, there's this one where off the jump ball, JK, he's literally jumping too. Jump ball gets deflected to kind of like Lakers side, but doesn't give up. Makes the effort to tap the ball out. Al Horford gets it, shoots a ball, but JK doesn't like assume that Al Horford's gonna, you know, get it in, even though he's a good 3-point shooter. Boxes out Ayton right here, gets good position, and then finds the ball. Boom, gets the ball. And he gets put on the baseline. I think it ends up being out. Yeah, it ends up being an out of bounds or like a turnover in a way, but still, that's like a good play. It really goes to show that he's really making sure he's like doing the things that team asked him for. So this one's what I was trying to talk about. So this one where Steph goes off behind the back, inside the paint, layup floater does not go in. JK goes for the offensive putback in, misses, but so basically what happens is that after that play though, because he went for the offensive rebound, did the putback, the ball bounced out to the perimeter, Pujemski retrieves it, and then it leads to this nice play where Kimmy gets it on the perimeter. He has a lot of space there, doesn't settle for the 3, he keeps the ball, kind of shoots a fake right there. And the thing is, I don't blame him. This is kind of his like typical ISO ball that he usually did that people hated. But this one I don't mind because they only have 7 seconds on the shot clock, and you have to do something. You don't want the action to be stale and stiff, right? So then he comes in, dribble, you know, whatever. It's against Aiden, so it's like he can do a midi pull up whenever he feels like it, and then goes inside, and then finds Potts, noticing that here he feels Luka's presence right there, and then he obviously sees him. So he knows there's a second man in him. And look at that paint collapsing right there too. I mean, Draymond's wide open too. So Pods ends up making this, but let's say Luka's a little bit more closer because he's hedging closer to Pods. Like, since Gabe Vincent's also in the paint, well, you can also have his Draymond screen Luka if he was right here, and then Pods can get a wide open 3. You know, like how Steph usually gets his 3s from Draymond 3s or Draymond screens. But anyways, he sees the vision, or he has the vision, sees Luka, and then passes out to a wide open Pods for a 3. And that was on the same play again as the missed putback dunk. Like, his effort was just so nice to see. He didn't give up on plays, no bad body language. Who knows, that might change in the future, obviously, but there's no reason to suspect that he'll have bad body language, especially because we've seen that he has good body language, has done the things that we asked for him already in this game. You know, obviously 1 game sample size, first game of the season, whatever, but still, it's just very rewarding to see this type of stuff happen, you know. This one's one of my favorite things that I saw today. This kind of goes to show like how good the Jimmy Steph pairing is. So Jimmy has the ball in his hand, Luka's guarding him, and they see this small Gabe Vincent on Steph Curry. And Gabe Vincent was the target of a lot of Jimmy switches, and I mean, Jimmy was scoring on him like every single time on his former Heat teammate. And what happens here is that Steph goes ahead and tries to set the screen here, and then kind of like, since he's on the side of under the basket, Luka's also kind of worried about Steph, just, you know, where he's kind of worried that Steph can go this way. So his body is kind of in like a weird position. He's already kind of probably in his mind at this point. He's just like, what do I do? You know, he goes outside here. He kind of like, he does like a rub screen in a way. So it's not like a really set screen. You can see it's like kind of like a rub screen on Gabe Vincent in a way. And then basically Gabe also kind of just screws this up essentially because, like, you know, he probably should have stayed on Jimmy. But I mean, with Steph's gravity, this is also like another example of Steph's gravity. But basically Steph runs out to the 3. That's all I'm trying to say. Steph runs out to the 3. Luka Luka goes to Steph, which is honestly Luka. That's the correct idea because it's like you're switching this, right? But Gabe Vincent screws up, but then also it's because it's Steph Curry. You gotta, protect the 3-point line when it comes to Steph Curry. Basically leads to a wide open Jimmy drive, and then boom, Rui has to come in late, and then Jimmy gets the easy contact, which basically gave them a good cushion towards the late quarter of the game when the Lakers were making that comeback, obviously. So awesome for that. And then obviously, I mean, you had the dagger of the game, obviously, just this Jimmy drive, obviously. Especially Jimmy drives are always good. And then GP2 gets in the perimeter, just finds Steph Curry, and then Steph's like, you know what? Screw it. We up. Let me just pull it. Logo. Boom. Man, this is crazy. This is Steph Curry at his finest, so like just, oh my god. Audacity shoot that from literally the crypto.com arena logo right there. It was with like literally no separation from Gabe. Look at this. Like that's like he's right there. I mean, obviously he could play a little bit better defense, but hands are literally in Steph's face. Doesn't matter because it's goddamn Steph Curry, So I mean, dude, it was a fun game, man. Just seeing all the things that what an ideal game would look like for the Warriors was all here. Obviously, the turnovers were the big issue, so obviously that's something they would like to be fixed. But besides that, man, it was just a fun game. Also, this Draymond 3, by the way, towards the end of the game was so clutch too. Because again, this was in the midst of Lakers run, so it was kind of like he had to settle for it. But the reason why Draymond gets this wide open 3 is again Jimmy drive, pods on the perimeter. Austin Reeves has to commit to pods because he's a great point shooter. And then Rui is kind of just like trying to help Luka because obviously Jimmy's gonna drive. So then it leaves Draymond with a lot of space here because Rui has to commit to the Jimmy drive with Luka being the primary defender on Jimmy during this possession. And then kind of Jimmy, this is kind of nice gesture by Jimmy. Obviously Luka can curl around the contest a shot. But by being here, it just makes it like they see Draymond. It's like, okay, it's Draymond. We'll let him shoot the 3. That's the thing is like if this was like a Steph Curry instead of Draymond, they would have definitely come to like contest a shot, and then it might have led to like a missed 3 because of the contest. But the thing is, since it's Draymond, and since it's such a quick, fast reaction play, and Jimmy's right there to kind of wall them off a little bit, they were like, I think instinctually, the Lakers, like Luka and Rui, were like, you know what, screw it, we'll just stay here. And I mean, Draymond makes some good timely 3s and just knocks that down, man. And now it's so big because again, they cut the lead down to almost like, I mean, it was a 2-possession game here, obviously, but if we missed here on this possession, they had a good chance to cut it to a single possession game. But Draymond's like, nope, we are coming out here with a win. So yeah, boom, baby. So I mean, again, overall, man, it was a fun game, bro. Like, I'm excited for the Warriors season. I'm gonna assume the Warriors go really good in their regular season record, and then they falter off like they did last year, but just not to the degree of last year, because last year was terrible because like we literally went like negative in terms of like we weren't 50-50 or we weren't like 0.500. We literally went like under. So I'm just saying that mainly because the start of the season is like everyone's healthy, everyone has energy, and then as time goes by and then you have more games under your belt, then it's like, okay, you're kind of like getting tired and wear and tear, whatever. So then you end up having games where like the players are, not playing as well, or you have injuries and people are in and out of the lineup. So I would say like we start off maybe like 15 and like 5 or something really good, even like maybe in 16 and 4 or something. But then like come later on, it's probably going to be like, I don't know, we might end up like, since it's like, let's say 15-5, we might end up being like 20 and like 11 or something, which isn't great, but not the worst thing ever. But you kind of go like a little negative, under 500, which I hope doesn't happen though, since we have a good bench. But just like that's the type of stuff I kind of expect, obviously, just with the older roster. And there's a crazy amount of games. You can see on the top that when I'm recording this, you guys can tell it's the day after. I'll be talking about these games at the top because some of these are crazy. I'm gonna be doing that in the Warriors preview video though, so not this video. But I think that's gonna be it for this video. Fun game, man. JK doing what we were asking him to do for a long time. So exciting to see, super encouraging. Hoping he continues it. Jimmy, obviously amazing, shooting all those 16. He was 100% by the way, 16 or 16 free throwing, and then Steph Curry just doing Steph Curry things, And Draymond obviously like almost a near triple double. Buddy Hield, 6th man of the year candidate potentially, whatever. But yeah, super fun game. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys next time in the Warriors preview video against the Nuggets for the season home opener.